Okay. Sorry.
Simeon.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, good evening all, and you're all welcome to this month's MTM, which is titled Financial Planning and Wealth Creation, a strategic tool for the energy executives. But before we go on further, I would like someone to lead us with opening prayer. Any volunteer in the house?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can
Thank
anyone
you.
hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
In
Please, name
Jesus'
and
name. My name is Glory Amadife. In Jesus' name. Heavenly Father, we
Amen.
thank you for today. We ask for your grace upon us, O God. Even as we start this meeting, we ask that your presence be with us. Help us to discuss effectively and help us to effect a change in our generation. Make this meeting be successful. For in Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Glory, for that wonderful prayer session. And on the agenda, the next thing we have is a safety brief and safety moment. I'll call on Daniel Abia to take us through the safety brief.
Okay. Thank you, Kennedy. Good evening, SPE colleagues. Who is projecting this? Oh, okay.
It's up already.
Okay. I had thought of something to mention. I will just go ahead and quickly put this as the housekeeping rules. My safety moment is on the mental effect or psychological effect of the various news going on in the country today, in social media, in print media, in WhatsApp. There are several news in the air. You wake up and you're hearing fatal accident. You're hearing 5 people killed somewhere. You're hearing the economic is shut down. Dollar is 500. So day by day, day in, day out, we keep receiving bad news of different forms. And it's important for us to know the effect of what this sort of negative news can have on our mental health. Your adrenaline may start pumping and your mind may begin to race to several worst case scenarios. And I believe strongly that it is important for us to start striking a balance between being informed by news media and not becoming overwhelmed by its difficult, especially during the present crisis we are seeing around us. Just to remind us also that June 12th, there have been several positions of demonstration. There have been several security alerts on social media, SMS, and all that. It's important for us to take cognizance of the risk exposure and filter what you hear. And this you do to keep your state of mind very sound. Because whatever it's garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you take into your mind definitely would be expressed in what you give out, either on your job, in your relationship at home with your family, even your relationship with God. So my key safety word today, it's as much as possible, filter what you take in. It's not all the news you need to listen to. Be very selective in what you read, what you hear, and make a choice to keep a sound mental health. Okay, thank you. On the ground rules, please mute your mic when not speaking. Should you have need to ask a question or provide further clarification or contribution, please kindly raise your hand to do so. If you want to chat in the chat room, using the chat button. So for comments, you can start with the capital letter C. And for questions, you can start with Q. Ensure you can still hear. Should you be in a place where a fire alarm may be activated, for those of us still in the office, ensure that you can see any fire alarm activation, and please respond accordingly. Be alert and aware of your environment. I had mentioned that earlier, and please stay safe and be security conscious. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Daniel Abia, for that wonderful safety moment, which you just gave us. The next thing on the agenda is welcome address. I'll call on our section chairman, Mr. Adebola Bada, to please give his welcome address.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Loud and
I
clear.
can.
Okay, fine. You know, it's very important for these virtual meetings too. I was speaking one time for like almost 30 minutes and nobody was hearing me, and I thought people were hearing me. So now I try to check every 5 minutes I check. Okay, so I welcome everyone to this MTM. I think this is our 10th MTM since February, since September 2020. This is the 10th one. So it's quite good that we, in the spirit of SPE, we gather like this. We would have loved to gather, you know, physically, and we are still really thinking about it. We hope everyone will take all the vaccine. So at that time, we'll know we're all free, sort of, and then we can gather together physically. But we've started trying the hybrid, you know, so I think gradually we'll move on to what we are used to, you know, everyone gather and then we have that feeling of seeing ourselves. So today's technical meeting is something that was requested, I think it's about March, when we also had a session about generally about living, which is not very technical thing, but we have a lot of people that came and then they can start thinking about retirement, even as they are starting work, maybe at 21 or 22 years. They explain how we have to also start thinking about when we are not working anymore, how can we start planning? And then that session, they say, okay, we should also have something about financial. And then we pencil that down. And that's how we're bringing this today, so that they can also discuss and explain to us energy professionals, so that we can also keep, enjoy the money we are making from all this technical stuff and use it to invest. So we have no other person today than Mrs. Chinwe Nite Ikechukwu. I think you can check her up later. When you check her up, then anyway, they will read our citation and you will know we are always coming with very quality people in section 103. What she will be explaining to us today, because as I can call this one explaining, she has to dig deep to teach us and explain to us. And you can ask any question you want. In some financial planning and wealth creation, a strategic tool for the energy executives. So I want us to really pay attention, get into the box, and if you have questions, put a queue, put your questions there. If you have comments, you are free. We also have our engagement team that will be in the chat box trying to sort out your comments or your questions, and the one they can answer, the one they will pass to Mrs. Chinwe, they will pass to her when the time comes. We will try as much as possible to stick to time. we are known to stick to time anyway. So we'll try as much as possible. And that's why I said it's better you start engaging from the chat box. You don't need to wait till the end. This program is also streamed live on YouTube. So if you don't want to go along with Zoom, I'm very sure, please put the link for the YouTube. You can also distribute to your friends and so on, so that they can also follow us on YouTube. You can also get through to us on all the social media platforms. I will not mention names because nowadays we cannot even mention names on all the social media anymore. But you can find us on all the social media platforms, and especially for our programs that will be coming up, and even the programs we have done, especially on YouTube, you can see a lot of our programs recorded, and honestly, these are beneficial. From social stuff to technical stuff, everything is there. I mean, we just give all this free, and that's what SPE is known for. So if you are not a member of SPE, also this is the right time. You can always join us. It doesn't take you too much to join us. We would like also to see how we can use your skills to continue to promote peace, to continue to support our community, and also sharing technical and networking, which is also very key. So I would just say on behalf of our directors of Section 103 Port Harcourt, and on behalf also of all our members and our young professionals and our students, so I hereby declare this monthly technical meeting open. Thank you, and have a very good session. Over to you, facilitator.
Okay, thank you, our section chairman, for that wonderful welcome address. We'll now move on to the next agenda, which is introduction of the moderator. Simeon, please, can I have a citation displayed? Hello, Simeon.
Okay, Simeon. Okay, I think you can go ahead and just introduce
the moderator for today's event is Dr. Joe Amepibama. He's our programs chairman for the Port Harcourt section. Since the citation is not coming up, I'll just.
Simeon, we cannot see anything.
I can't see it on my own side.
Simeon, we cannot see anything. Simeon, are you there? Okay, sorry, just bear with us. I think maybe Simeon is having some issues. Okay, so normally, Kennedy, are you there? We can read the citation later. So you can just go ahead. Go ahead and introduce. Okay,
hello, can you see my screen?
Okay, I think it's.
Yeah.
Coming
I
up.
think you're away for a while, Simeon.
Okay.
Okay,
sorry for the little technical hitch. Let me read the program's chairman citation. Dr. Amepibama Joseph is the program chairman of SPE section 103 Port Harcourt. He's a senior lecturer and incumbent head of Department of Petroleum and Gas Engineering and University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Joseph also doubles as the assistant director and PG PhD coordinator of the prestigious Institute of Petroleum Studies, which is also known as IPS, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Joseph has 2 books to his credit and has co-authored over 35 articles in learned and reputable journals. He developed the non-interactive and less time-consuming method of calculating vapor liquid equilibrium, VLE calculations using the convex Hall algorithm. Dr. Joseph is registered engineer with Koren, a consultant, and a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please join me as we welcome the moderator for today's event, Dr. Joseph, as he takes the podium. You can just give an online clap for him. Thank you, sir. You can have the podium, sir.
Thank you very much, Israel. Thank you. Can I have the citation of the speaker? Hello, Simeon, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, Simeon, are you there?
Yeah,
I think he's having some troubles.
Let's just be patient with him, and then we'll come up with him.
Listen, you can see. Yeah, it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
We're not seeing it.
So we just have to bear with.
Let's just bear with Simeon. It's very important that we read the citation of the speaker.
Okay, so instead of waiting.
But you know, we can't do anything.
No, madam, you can project your citation yourself. Madam Chinwe.
Okay.
Madam Chinwe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I need to just give me some minutes.
Okay.
No problems. Simeon, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, project.
All right. Citation of Chinwe Inite Ikechukwu, Chief Executive of Profinad Nigeria Limited. Chinwe is the Chief Executive of Profinad Nigeria Limited, an indigenous financial advisory company Prior to joining Profinad, she worked in the investment banking space for over 8 years. She started her career at the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. She has over 17 years working experience in investment banking and financial advisory, with expertise in the offshore financial market, as well as in research and development. She holds a master's in economics from the University of Lagos and a BSc in economics from Enugu State University of Science and Technology. She's an internationally certified speaker, trainer, and coach, as well as a certified DICS trainer for the John Maxwell team. Likewise, she's a learning and development professional with the Learning and Development Network, LDNI. Also, she's an associate member of the Women in Management, Business, and Public Service. She sits on the board of other private companies in Nigeria. We gladly welcome you to give us a talk on financial planning and wealth creation. Madam Chiwe, the floor is now in your control to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Financial
Dr.
planning
Joe.
and wealth creation.
Dr. Joe.
Yes.
I think this is
Thank you very much.
echoing.
This is echoing.
Hello.
We are good now.
Good evening. Okay, very well. Can you hear me clearly?
Very well.
Yes, madam.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the board and management of Profinad Nigeria Limited.
Yes, yes,
I'm having an echo in the background. That's why I'm asking.
Sorry, Dr. Joe, please mute your mic.
I think he's muted already.
Okay, you can go on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Please go on, ma'am.
On behalf of Profinad Nigeria Limited,
Yes.
I want to sincerely thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today to interact with you on a very important topic. I thank the executive committee of the Society of Petroleum Engineers Harcourt session. I also thank Venerable Adeshina, who I don't think is here today. He recommended us for this. And I also thank my chairman, Gerard Duplessis. I can see him. He joined us all the way from Kenya. And my colleague, Margaret. This evening, we'll be talking to you on a very important topic, like, let me share my screen. Like Mr. Bada mentioned, on financial planning and wealth creation. A strategic tool for energy executives. Why did I say that this topic is very important? You know, what happened between last year and now exposed our level of weakness in financial management for a lot of people, especially here, not just in the world, we're focusing on Nigeria. We heard news of some bankers, even bankers that took their lives because they were thrown into financial difficulties. In the same vein, I can tell you that there are people that, despite all they experienced, loss of job and the lockdown, they were able to carry through up till now. Even some of them do not have a job. But why were they able to carry through? Because they took the time earlier to plan their life, So over time, they have built a buffer. They have created wealth that they are able to fall back on in the face of any form of eventualities like this, this COVID that just happened to us. And your ability to create wealth can only happen when you have a sound financial planning. Without a sound financial planning, you will not be able to create wealth. That is why I said this topic is very important for every one of us. And before we start, one thing I would like you to note is that we will go through the 7 core areas that everyone that wants to build wealth or attain financial independence someday will have to go through, okay? Before we talk about the 7 core areas, we'll first of all try to understand what the human and financial life cycle is. We'll try to define financial planning, and then we do a short exercise that will enable you ascertain where you are and what you're doing to see if you will need help and how to, help yourself build wealth. And then we'll look at what wealth creation is and the strategies for wealth creation. So in the next 30 minutes, we should be done with this. Now, when we talk about human and financial life cycle, these are stages of life that everyone is expected, and I use that word seriously, expected to go through from the time you were born to death, okay? Now, I'm sure in the presentation that Variable Additional did, he dwelt on the human life cycle. And we, for the purpose of the training of financial planning, have merged the human life cycle with the financial life cycle. So as we go through this, you need to understand where you are on the human life cycle end and find out if you are taking the necessary decisions on the financial life cycle end. Because if you do not do that, some years down the line, if something like this pandemic or even personal eventualities happen to you, you might have some form of distress. You might not be able to carry on. So the essence of this training is for you to be able to do what you need to do to raise your awareness on how to manage your finances over time, and then ultimately to become financially independent. Now, when people talk about wealth, we think of people like Dangote, Warren Buffett, Zuckerberg. You don't necessarily have to have that wealth or that kind of money to define yourself as wealthy. Once you attain that state of financial independence, which is a state where you have accumulated enough assets that the proceeds or income from those assets are able to meet your needs and also help you achieve your financial goals in life, you are wealthy in your own sense. I will encourage every one of you to have a writing pad because when we get to that exercise, you really need to participate in it. So in the human life cycle, there are numerous categories, but we summarize them into 3 different stages. The first stage is the foundation stage. That's the stage of birth to when you attain your education. So ordinarily, we expect that between year 1 and 24, you have attained your highest level of education, and then you can also continue from there. Now, at this stage in the human life cycle, there were financial implications to your life. Someone paid for your education. Someone took care of your housing, the Maslow needs, feeding and all that. There was a shortfall financially. And in the financial life cycle, we regard this foundation stage as your learning years. That shortfall, fortunately for you, the cost was borne by someone. When you go beyond the foundation stage, you move to the life planning stage. Now, at the life planning stage, you become economically active, meaning that you've started working, you've started earning money. The decisions you take in this life planning stage, which we call the earning years in your financial life cycle, will determine how you live now and even into retirement. At this stage of your life planning stage, if you do not take the right financial decisions, at retirement, which we call the succession planning stage, when the critical shortfall comes up, you will yearn. Why we call it the yearning stage in the financial life cycle. So until you understand that every human being is expected to go through the foundation stage where you're born, you grow, you go to school, till the life planning stage where you start earning. And I believe a lot of us are in this stage today. I know a few of us, like my chairman now, is in the succession planning stage where you're talking about retirement and all that till God calls you. Now, unless, like I said earlier, you take the necessary decisions to accumulate enough wealth, you will not enjoy life at retirement. And your family might experience some form of challenges as we go on. And the process of being able to build this wealth is what we call financial planning. So by way of definition, financial planning is simply taking continuous financial decisions, necessary decisions that will enable you achieve your financial objectives in life. Financial planning is futuristic. So the process of you being able to meet your life goals, I know somebody will say, all my life goals is not all about money. But believe me, 98% or 99% of our life goals are wrapped around money. And until we are able to understand and learn how to manage our finances well, we will not be able to achieve those goals, okay? So how do we, when you talk about financial planning, there are two core areas of need. Unfortunately, in our climate, most people talk about the investment needs. If I ask all of you now, what kind of investment do you have? People will say, oh, I have shares, I have real estate, I have Bitcoin, I have all those investments, Greek, you know, all forms of investment. They're all good. But when you're talking about financial planning, you start from the point of protection. So until you solve your protection needs, everything you have acquired by way of investment is at risk. Because if you do not protect yourself, protect your wealth, protect your assets, one little problem will cause you to liquidate all those things you have accumulated. So in financial planning, we try to put in place structures that will help you protect yourself, protect your family, protect your dependents, and then build wealth through investments. Now, I'm not going to sit here and assume that every one of us here do not have a plan. But I know that there are people here that have not taken out the time to look at themselves and say, this money I am making, you're busy in the upstream sector, making money, earning a living for yourself to take care of your family and all that. Have you taken out time to say, how do I put this, my wealth, in place such that I will be able to accumulate enough assets to take care of not just me, my family, and even for those of us that have philanthropic inclinations, the philanthropic inclinations. So when we talk about financial planning, we'll try to understand who needs financial planning. Now, look at the graph in front of you. I'll encourage you to just take a minute to analyze it. On the left-hand side, you see the breadwinner. In the nation and the world today, breadwinners are not only men. We have female breadwinners as well. So if you are the breadwinner of your family, and unfortunately, God forbid, something happens, and it's not only death that can happen, permanent disability can take you out of the picture as a breadwinner. If you're a breadwinner, and unfortunately you're taken out of this picture, if the circumstances of your family, your dependents, your wife, your children will alter negatively, then you need financial planning urgently. And if you have not taken out the time to actually look at this and plan your finances and your life, you need financial planning. The good news I have for you today is that you don't really have to do it alone. You don't also have to waste your work time trying to do this, because you have experts in the field that their work, just like your work is in the upstream, is to help you put your finances together. So you can reach out to a financial advisor, preferably an independent financial advisor, to help you with this structure, so that if any other thing happens, like the COVIDs of this world, or any other pandemic, or even situations around you happen, you will not find yourself in any form of financial distress. Now, going forward, the next slide, because I know some people will be wondering, well, I've done some investments, can that be, categorized as having a financial plan? Okay. We'll do a short exercise like I mentioned earlier, which we call the wheel of financial satisfaction. When we go through this, the essence is for you to look at your life, because by the time you finish working on this, you'll be able to say, yes, I am very good. I have a good structure, and myself and my family are good to go. But if you're not able to do this well, or if you do this and you find out that you fall short, then you can say to yourself, I need help. So I'll encourage you to draw a circle, just like you have it on your screen now, for you to ascertain where you are today. When you draw a circle, divide it into 7 pies and label it the way you have it on your screen. These are the 7 core areas I mentioned that if you take care of it, you will not only be able to create wealth, but you will become financially independent and wealthy in future. Now, if you have drawn this circle and you've labeled it accordingly, I will ask you some questions. These questions I'm going to ask you, I want you to be true to yourself. Nobody is going to ask you to show your results. We're just trying to ascertain where you are. So on a scale of 0 to 10, When I ask you questions regarding any of these areas, you need to score yourself based on your current performance. We will start from the area of your life. Because when you talk about protection, you start from the point of protecting your life, your income, your family. And you do this with life insurance. I know by law, most of us that work, we have group life insurance in place. Some of us have also gone to also set up other forms of insurance for ourselves and our family. But I need you to understand something. The global standard requires that you should have at least 9 times your annual expenditures and exposures. Expenditure means what you spend in a year. School fees, vacation, feeding, accommodation, everything that you spend on yourself and your family and those that are dependent on you. Exposure means those facilities or loans that you have that are not secured. So if in a year you spend, for instance, 10 million, let's use 10 million. If in a year you spend 10 million, and then you have some deals with your friends or loans with your family members and you just, maybe only your lawyer knows, nothing very tight, that is maybe another 10 or 5 million. Your company, just like most companies do, will only take up 3 times your basics. Most of us earn so much, especially you people in the oil and gas industry. You earn so much, but when we bring out your pay slip, most of the monies come from the bonuses, dressing allowance, this allowance, that allowance. So you find out that at the end of the day, that 10 million that you have as your take home or 20 million, only maybe 5 million is what your company will take up 3 times of it as a premium on your head, because it's not everything that a company takes up the insurance on. So let's assume you earn 15 million and only 5 million is where your company took up a life insurance for. Multiply 5 by 3. What it means is that if you die, the company insurance will pay out 15 million to your dependents. Now tell me, when they give them 15 million and you have young children still going to school, maybe you told your wife, don't worry, just sit home and look after the children. Let me be the one doing all the work. How long will that 15 million carry your family? Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, if you know you do not have adequate insurance, score yourself based on what you have. So write a figure in that pie for life. Then we move over to your health. We know again that you have your health insurance. Some of your companies have the health management organization option. Some others have direct relationship with the hospitals that provide this thing for you. Some of you have even your own good hospitals. The question is, how adequate are these provisions for you and your family? And beyond now, when you retire, will you carry on that health care provision that the company has given you today? if you will not carry it on, assuming you retire at the age of 55, and you now need a health care, and believe me, at retirement, what goes up is I need to look at, what goes up is your health, need for health. You know, your health starts to deteriorate. If you want to take up a HMO at that point, you're going to pay through your nose. So on a scale of 0 to 10, tell me what you have today. Is it very adequate? If it's not adequate, put a figure on what you think, how you're doing on your health today. The next one we'll look at is the emergency fund. Now, the emergency fund, like the name implies, is the money that you fall back on. A lot of people had to go to the emergency fund to survive the pandemic. The rule says that you need at least between 3 to 6 times your monthly expenditure. Remember, the life insurance is annual expenditure. Emergency fund is 3 to 6 times your monthly expenditure. You need it in a liquid investment. Don't tell me, oh, Chief, I have a house in GRA or in Rumomasi. From there, that's my emergency fund. It's not an emergency fund. If you want to liquidate that thing in 24 hours, you will realize that that money, that investment will not serve you as emergency fund. So if you do not have any or enough money, between 3 to 6 times of what you spend on yourself and your family on a monthly basis, grade yourself where you are. Because at the end of the day, we'll connect the dots and see what your whale looks like. From the emergency fund, we will go to your retirement. Every one of us plan for everything. Oh, Chiwa is planning for her wedding. You know, we're planning for holiday, we're planning for children's birthday, for every event. But the longest holiday of our life, how many of us have sat down to plan for it? I know some of us have very healthy money in our retirement savings account. The question is, what you have accumulated today, if you project it to when you will retire, how long will that carry you into retirement? On a scale of 0 to 10, grade yourself. Another very vital area important that you must look at is your children's education. For everyone here that still have children within the school age, I tell you that you need to plan for your children's education. For your children's education, okay? You need to plan for your children's education such that whether you're here or something happens to you and you're not here, your children will achieve the highest level of education that you have planned for them. So on a scale of 0 to 10, what do you have in place for your children's education? The next area is investment. I'm sure every one of us have done something in this area. But the question is, the investments you have today, if you should retire suddenly, unceremoniously, from what you're doing today because of critical illness or disability, will what you have accumulated in investment be able to carry you and your dependents over time? Rate yourself. And then finally, the 7th area that we must plan is where most people make a mistake. I remember one of our clients that worked with one of the top oil companies in Nigeria. When he passed, his relations were on our neck. asking questions. What's the value of his portfolio? This, we need to pay, this, blah, blah, blah. And I said to them, I will follow what my client stated in his file. And the man, before he died, named his wife as his sole beneficiary. So I said to the people disturbing me, get me the wife. Until the woman came, I didn't disburse his investments. We paid everything to her after conducting our due diligence. Now, a lot of us make that mistake. When we started working, we had our relations because we were single as our next of kin. And then we have not gone back to regularize that. You need to put in place structures that will ensure that what you have worked for will not go into the wrong hands when you die suddenly. And you can only do that using the will or the trust option. So on a scale of 0 to 10, tell me, what have you done in this regard? Now I know you have numbers in all these things, so let's do our calculation. First, I will encourage you to add up all your scores. So add all your scores, what you scored in life, health, emergency fund, retirement, children's education, investment, and will or trust. Divide what you have by 70, multiply that figure by 100. Can somebody tell me in the chat box what you scored? If you did this exercise well, I would look at the chat box. I have seen a question from Mr. Bada. We'll treat that in due course. Can somebody tell me, did anybody get this exercise? What did you score when you added all your figures, divided them by 70 and multiplied by 100? Who is most preferred to be used as next of kin, spouse or child? We will deal with all those. Thank you so much, Mr. Bada. I will clap for you. You scored 50. Okay. 47, Mr. Williams. Thank you for the Mr. Koye, 27. Thank you. Mr. Williams Jikise, you scored 12. Wow. Now, the good news is that you now know that you need to take decisions in these 7 areas. This is just a tip of what financial planning does for you. Okay? Now, for everybody that scored below 80, right? Everybody that scored below 80, you need financial planning help. So you need to reach out to a financial advisor. This is what we do. We are independent in that sense as well. Reach out to a financial advisor to help you structure your life. When you take care of these 7 areas, you will not only have built wealth, you'll find out that down the road, you will become financially independent and you will become wealthy. So what is this vision we've been talking about? We've looked at what financial planning is. You've looked at your own status where you are. I can see the chat box buzzing. Well done, keep it coming. Wealth creation is simply the process of accumulating, just pulling all these assets together, managing it, growing it to be able to generate stable income for you that will enable you meet all your needs and all your financial goals. And when you create wealth, you get to a state where you don't necessarily need your 9-to-5 job. The income from these assets will take care of your life. And for people like you that earn so much now, you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you do not structure your life so that beyond this, your work, you would actually enjoy life at retirement. Wealth creation frees you to live your life to the full without struggling to earn money. You talk about the beauty of compounding interest. Wealth creation is important for you so that things like this, the calamity we faced or we are facing, the pandemic, the gentleman that talked about the health and safety, talked about the current, I don't know what we will call it, pandemic happening in Nigeria, killings, insecurity. Wealth creation helps you to have that buffer to fall back on. If they say, move out of Nigeria, you can quickly just buy your ticket, buy the ticket for your children and take off, protect yourself. If you don't have that buffer, you expose yourself, you expose your family. Now, wealth creation is built over time. And some of the asset classes that you use to build wealth include insurance, include shares, real estate, you know, all these things listed, alternative investments, agri, artifacts, you know, cash, even new options. I didn't want to write it here so that nobody will start asking me, talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, no. So all those ones are new options. When you accumulate these assets, you begin to build wealth that will help you over time to become financially independent. I want to reiterate that building wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's not a 100-meter race. You build it over time. You need discipline. You need to be consistent to be able to build wealth over time. What are the steps that we must apply to build wealth? For you to build wealth, you need to apply these following steps. One, you must identify your needs in view of the human life cycle and financial life cycle that we discussed earlier. Where are you today? Everyone that did the exercise can say, oh, man, I haven't even scratched. I need help. Identify where you are. When you identify where you are, anticipate the future. Oh, okay, I just got married. The next thing is I'm talking about is raising a family, having children. I must think of how many children I want, where I want to raise my family, how to feed them, how to, take care of their needs. Okay? Because I didn't start early, I started way back because I have the knowledge to start saving for all those things so that when they come, I will be ready. Okay? You must anticipate, oh, if a pandemic can happen now, anything can happen. You will all agree with me that the only thing that is constant in life is change. So when you identify where you are, anticipate the future, you list your financial goals. There are things you want to achieve in life. List them out. Prioritize them. When you do that, you create a working budget. Believe me, every rich man, including the richest man in the world, work with a budget. If you do not, budget is just planning your money. Income versus expenditure. If you do not have a hand on your money, every other thing and people will have that hand for you and help you spend it. So create a working budget. It creates discipline. Then you must learn to save, 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 save. You cannot invest if you haven't saved. And then when you do that, you work with a financial advisor to set up an appropriate financial plan or structure in those 7 core areas that we talked about. When you have done that, you start implementing, because unless your wealth is as much as Dangote's, you cannot attend to those 7 core areas immediately. You work on it gradually, 1 step at a time. When you start implementing, you need to consistently review. And you know, you're busy with your upstream. Is it when you're in the rig that you'll be thinking of, oh, what's my financial plan? What am I doing? What do I need to adjust? No. That's why I always say, work with a financial planner, work with a financial advisor. And if they are independent like we are, it is better. Independence enables them, give you unbiased advice. Let me give you an example. If you are a retail person in, let me use your sector, a mobile filling station. You cannot drive into a mobile filling station and you want to buy oil and you see Total Oil being displayed there, true or false? But an independent person will be able to say to you, for your Mercedes, you need this company's oil. But for your Jaguar, you need that person's oil. That's why it is beautiful and better to work with an independent financial advisor to help you plan. And in the planning process, most of us, at least I know for our company, we don't charge people to structure a good plan for you. Okay? So what are the strategies that you need to apply to build this wealth? Somebody will say, Chinwe, you are an insurance. Yes. These 4 boxes, if you do not tick them, you will not be able to create wealth. The first box is the protection box. And what you need is insurance. You need to insure your life. You need to insure yourself against any form of disability, critical illness, insure your health, have adequate provision for your every asset you have. Every rich man, the best form of investment, I stand to be corrected, is insurance. By the way, let me give a caveat. We don't sell products in my company. So I'm not pushing insurance or investment. Our role is to on the right path. So the best form of investment is because intelligent investors wrap their life around insurance. When they have it, everything is protected. Their wealth, their family, if there's debt, the money will pay out. A client of ours in one of the African countries passed on. He had children's education plan, but he had an insurance. That insurance paid out, and he took care of the wife till tomorrow is still benefiting from that insurance. Now, the investment that he had, if that was the only thing he had, he would not have been able to take care of those children. Okay? That's why I always say insurance, insurance, insurance. But you must find a good insurance that will pay out when you need it. The next box that you tick, which is a tool for wealth creation, is savings. Save for everything. Emergency fund, you want to build a house, you want to go for holiday, save for it. The reality of our times in Nigeria has thrown up the need for those of us that are full-fledged Nigerians to create global opportunities for our family through getting second citizenship and residency programs. Plan for it. You save to be able to get that. Then you need the tool of investment. Your retirement savings account is an investment option for savings, okay? Children's education plan is one option for you. your stockbroking account, you know, for equities, your money market portfolio, everything. Those are the tools. There are so many things, alternative investments. But you can't bother yourself with doing your oil and gas work and then looking at what is happening. There are people that are experts in this. Let them work with you to get this done. And finally, the fourth and final tool that you must not ignore is the protection, your wealth transfer. You need a will or a trust to ensure that after you have put in all this exercise, all this effort, building wealth, when you pass, the people you worked for will benefit from what you worked for them. Now, there are three things I would leave you with as I round up. Okay? The first thing is that you must aim to achieve financial independence, and it is very possible for everybody on this program. You achieve financial independence through wealth creation, and you build wealth through having a sound financial plan. The second thing, like I've been announcing since, is you need to do it with a financial planner, financial advisor. Don't do it alone. Nigerians are jack of all trades. Don't do it with your money. Be intelligent with it. Be willing to work with a financial planner. And finally, with what is going on in Nigeria, let's tell ourselves the truth. The devaluation, it is high time we start thinking of how to hedge our money in foreign currencies. And most of us want to train our children abroad. Is it with what you're saving in Naira that you will use to train your children abroad? I leave you with these words of Jerome. He said, the rich invest their money and spend what is left. The poor spend their money and invest what is left. So I say to you, if you want to become rich, behave like the rich. And like our Nigerian pidgin parlance will say, follow who know road. Thank you very much, and God bless. If you have questions, I can see some of them in the chat box. I'll hand over to Dr. Joe to take over. Thank you very much. Hello, Dr. Joe. Or should I go to the chat box and just take the questions?
Thank you, Madam, thank you for the wonderful session on financial planning. Okay, Mr. Bada, I don't know if you're still on the call. Okay, Madam, let's just go straight to the questions which we have already. We have so many questions that were dropped on the chat box, so we'll take them one after the other. The first one says, how do we plan an emergency fund when the Naira is devaluating every time? Pounds today is 700 Naira, while it was just 500 Naira in the beginning of the year.
Thank you very much. That's a very brilliant question. But if you will remember what I said, emergency fund is not tied to the value of your currency. If you live in Nigeria and you spend the money in Nigeria, what we're saying is, if you spend 1 million a month, please have between 3 to 6 million. And the upper band, some people like us will save 9 times, but the rule says 3 to 6 times. Okay, the higher the better, because until you relocate, you still need that money to spend it. So if you spend 1 million today, if you spend 1 million on a monthly basis, Naira, and you live in Naira, and you live in Nigeria, if you have 3 million, it's still 3 million. The devaluation doesn't affect it because you're here. Where it will affect you is if you pay school fees for your children in America, UK, Canada, or your family is not here, which is the situation with most of you, because most of our clients in the oil and gas industry, their families are not here. Some of them have even gone to join them. So that's where it's a problem, but it's a problem that you can handle. So you need to have the equivalent of 6 million. And between January and date, it's been devalued by over 200%. What you need to do is to increase the portion you put in your savings for emergency fund. As the times change, you adjust your belt and increase that portion. It's simple. It doesn't affect it in this case. So if you have to pay children abroad, you have to keep buying dollars, buying pounds. It's unfortunate. That's the reality of what we have. So I hope that answers that question.
Yes, madam. I think it does. Mr. Debola Bada actually asked that question. Okay, Dr. Joe is back on the call, so I'll hand over to him to continue with the question section. Dr. Joe, please, sir, can you continue?
Kennedy, I think I continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. One of our section directors raised up his hand. Mr. Anipo. Sir, I don't know if you have any questions to ask.
Hello.
The next question.
Sorry, let's read all the questions first.
Hello?
Read all questions, and then we take from the section director to wrap up.
Okay, sir. Okay, the next question was,
hello, I'm back.
Prepared to be used as next of kin, spouse or child?
Okay, thank you for that brilliant question. First, I would also treat something. Now, next of kin is not the same as beneficiary. Please note that, especially with your financial instruments. Next of kin is who someone can reach out to in case of an emergency on your case. Beneficiary is who gets what you have put in place, okay? So go and regularize all your documents. If all you have is next of kin, put in your list of beneficiaries, or maybe work with your lawyer. That's where the will and trust does the magic for you. Now, to the question, is it your spouse or your child? For families where the husband and wife have issues, okay? Husband and wife don't live in peace. They don't trust each other. You're wondering, if I give it to this woman, she can even remarry if I die. And you can use your children. Please, a child is a minor. I hope you can, so this thing is dragging. If that child is a minor, please appoint someone you trust, either your lawyer or a relation that you trust very well, to act as an administrator of your assets in case of death, your financial advisor or the company managing that portfolio. But that's okay. So the decision is yours. If you're in good terms with your spouse, please let your spouse be your beneficiary. The person must really be a demon possessed, even if they hate you, to spend the money you have accumulated for your children on other things. But if you're not comfortable, please get a trust and wrap around your wealth in it, okay?
Okay, thank you, madam, for that. The next question is, what about people who do not earn enough to meet their basic needs? That is, people whose salary is exhausted before the next paycheck. Also considering that most breadwinners in Nigeria have dependents in form of friends and relatives. What advice do you have for them?
Thank you so much. Very, very good question. So I say to people, if you can't save 1 naira when you earn 10 naira, that's 10% of your money. You won't be able to save 100 naira when you earn 1,000. Now, there is nobody that would sit here and tell me that you don't earn enough to meet your basic needs. So where did you get the money to make up for the shortfall? I do not say that people's salaries are enough. No. What I'm saying to you is that you need to plan your life. That's where that budget works for you. Oh, I earn 10 naira. Look at everything you spend that 10 naira on and look for ways to adjust. I have had to sit some of my junior friends, my drivers down to do this simple mathematics. I say to them, list out all your expenditures. And when you look at it, you see all the relevant things and people that help them. Yes, they are your dependents. But please, if you do not have that money to meet all their needs, you don't have to kill yourself. Adjust. One of my drivers that I did it for actually said, I saw 15,000 out of his 50,000 monthly salary for his mom. I said, sorry, why are you giving your mom 15,000? He said that there is a SPE that the mom has to pay for, and the woman is insisting. I looked at him and I said, even me, I don't pay for my mother's SPE. I told my mom clearly, I said, if you want me to pack away from Lagos and go to the village and live with you, please ask me to pay for every SPE. That SPE is not relevant. What you can afford, you pay for. What you cannot afford, adjust. Because when that money is cut off and is not flowing, nobody, even those people that you are spending on, will not come back to you. They will not help you. Adjust yourself, plan your life. The rule is spend less than what you earn and then work hard to increase your earning. So there's no way it won't meet your basic needs. If you always buy provision, do this, adjust the number of provisions. If you go out to drink and do everything because you say, this life, I cannot kill myself, please, out of 5 times, remove 3 times and don't kill yourself 2 times. You need to tighten your belt. That's the reality. People don't want to believe it, but that's the reality. You need to adjust to be able to save. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam, for answering that question. The next question we have here is, what of those their earnings are not enough for their monthly?
No, we've answered that. Is the other one.
Okay.
And says, how does this apply to people in their early life?
Okay.
Dividing by 7 assumes that everyone is the same.
Okay, madam. As a student, you engage in business activities and the dependents around. I am single. How do I have 9 times of my expenses?
Exactly. Okay. Sorry, you missed the one before it. And it also ties to this one you just asked. So the person says we assume that everybody's in the same life journey. We don't assume that. And that's why I said, well, the human life cycle, that we are expected. I'm 42, I just got married this year. I was supposed to have started maybe in my 20s, 25, okay? But I'm going to start building my family. I didn't wait till now to save for my children's milk, to start saving for my children's education. You are even in a better position. Take up the necessary things. And if you're young, you're so look at all those areas. Look at all those areas, because in due course, you will wear those shoes. Even if you don't have children, if you're a nun or maybe by religion inclination, you won't have children. You have dependents, so you need to make provision for your dependents as well. Okay.
Okay. Yes, madam.
I hope that answers it.
Yes, thank you for that. There's the next question here. It says, in looking to protect money from currency devaluation and unscrupulous government policies, how can someone open an offshore bank account, in brackets, not domiciliary account?
Yeah, if you want to open an offshore bank account, kindly reach out to us. Our details are there. We do that. We help people do that. So just reach out to us.
Okay. Another question here is, please, is Profin working with Mint Digital Bank? And
Mint.
they also have a financial plan like you explained, and your logos look almost the same.
No. We are not working with Mint. We're an independent financial advisory company that provide these services and much more than Mint. So if you want to get to know about us more, please reach out to us, so we don't go against the rules of the house. Okay, we don't work with Mint.
Okay, and we'll take the last question because of time. And this one says, okay, the issues of meeting independent financiers have to do with trust and honesty issues. How do we balance this?
I don't understand that question. The issue of meeting independent financial. If you're talking about working with an independent financial advisor, then you don't have to worry. Yeah, we know that we have some devious people out there, but you need to work with people that are fully regulated. Profinad is fully regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission in Nigeria. Everywhere we are across the world, we are fully regulated. So look for people that are fully regulated, not people that come in with their briefcase to sell things to you and run away. And then we have offices in Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja. We have clients in Port Harcourt. We go to Bonny often. So we have people all over that we manage. So look for independent financial advisors that people know, that are well-grounded, not people that just come and then bamboozle you and disappear with your money. How you balance it, or if that's the question.
Okay, thank you, madam. I will hand over to Dr. Joe at this point.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Israel, for standing up for me. Madam, thank you very much for your presentation. It's indeed an eye-opener
Thank you,
to
sir.
all of us. Obviously, we are actually doing below expectation. In terms of investment and finance, much about all this.
Hello, Dr. Joe. Hello, Dr. Joe. Can you hear me?
So now that we're question and answer sessions, I need to come in here to make this presentation for us. And we're indeed very grateful for all you've done today, particularly on the wheels of financial satisfaction. That exercise is very key, and quite helpful.
Okay.
So the next question of the day.
Hello, Dr. Joe. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So just sorry, very quickly. So we've had the moderator thanking you. We just want to express our thanks very much. We'll allow our section director, Felix Anipo, to say a word or two, just to thank you more. And if there's any comment he has regarding this, he can also give that. Engineer Felix Anipo, please.
As Felix, please.
Okay, Sim, you have on.
Are you sure it's still there? Okay.
Felix is always here. Felix is always here. Good evening, sir.
All right.
Can you hear me?
The floor is
yes, yours, we can hear you, Felix, yes.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, sir, it's an honor to be heard in this meeting today. I say hello and good evening to all the senior members here present and all the other SPE members, especially also the moderator, Dr. Joe. Hey, the presenter, I want to thank you immensely from the bottom of my heart for this presentation. It's looking like you were speaking to me. I am telling you, you were speaking to me. I must call you for sure. I scored 50, and you said if I didn't get up to 80, then that means we still have to work harder. But I wanted to say that I like the way your presentation, especially that live pie chart, the sectors that you were asking that we pay attention to. I am in all of that right now, but didn't still measure up at 50%. I didn't measure up to 80%. And part of all the examples you gave affect and apply to me now. And because I know a lot of young people look up to me, I wanted to voice out here now and tell them that they need to work harder. I thought I was working hard. My eyes are kind of like open, but Madam Presenter, you've just opened them a lot wider now. And guess what? I must call you and engage your company so that they can help me flesh out the rest of the items, because I am speaking to you from Aberdeen in the UK. I moved my family 2 years ago. And all of this is just to protect them or hedge them, so to speak. But I earn my so-called oil and gas money in Naira. And of course, the rest, you know what is happening to me right now with the exchange. So I'm taking some of the measures that you've mentioned, and I think that I can do a lot more. So I'm just trying to advise all of us out there that there's a comment she made, while we focus on this job, we keep doing all of this job. Remember that the companies that we work for will replace us in 2 days after coming to eat rice in your house if you're not there anymore. Why don't you let a financial planner do your financial planning and advice for you now that you have the strength? And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So if I'm a friend, if you're one of those that call me and I mentor and I give advice to, one of the advice I'm giving for the second half of this 2021 is the fact that this is coming at a crucial time, and we should key into it. Okay, on that note, I wanted to say thank you for this presentation and thank the chairman, Mr. Bada, for organizing it. If there could be a follow-up session so that a lot more people can benefit. And then for the senior members also and senior directors, section directors here present, once again, I say good evening and thank you so much. Thank you. Just thanks for the honor, the time.
Thank you very much, SD Felix.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So the next on the agenda is question of the day, winners. So is Chinwe here?
Marianne is there.
Okay, Marianne.
Yes,
all right. Madam Chinwe, you are not the one. We have another Chinwe here with us.
okay, sir.
Chinwe Ichendu, rather. So Marianne, can you please, on behalf of your chair, handle this for us? Marianne, can you hear me? Simeon, can you unmute Marianne?
She can speak from her end. The co-host.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Marianne.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. It's been an exciting one. So for Know Your Industry, for the month of June, so we have over 30 participants, and we had 4 questions for this month. So we had 4 questions for this month, very simple question. One of the questions was the theme of NAIS for 2021. So it's very exciting. The participation was very exciting. We have a lot of professionals, YPs, and even students that participated. So winners for this month of June, we have Justice Vidigo, we have Pascal Nwizu, Joshua, and Ibrahim. Thank you very much for participating. As usual, we have your certificates ready, and this will be sent to you tomorrow, and other little incentives too. Thank you very much for participating in this month's question and answer. See you next month, and I encourage every other person too to participate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marianne. Thank you. About us, communication chair. Membership share, rather.
You can just quickly go through it so that the one will
All right. About us, SPI, who we are not for-profit professional association. Our members are engaged in energy resource development and production. SP serve more than 104,000 members in 123 countries worldwide. Key resources for technical knowledge, provide services through its publication, events, training courses, and online resources. You can know more about SPE through our website, www.spe.org. And our main mission is to collect, disseminate, and exchange technical knowledge concerning the exploration, development, and production of oil and gas resources and related technologies for the public benefit and to provide opportunity for professionals to enhance their technical and professional competence. So you can, from the pie chart, you can see the membership distribution by region. And where we are in Africa, occupy just about 8% of the total that are made up the 124,000 plus members in 135 countries. And so far we have about 197 sections and 316 student chapters. And today is section 103 that is making this presentation, one of the sections of the Nigerian Council, and the second largest in Nigeria, covering about 6 states and 12 chapters. Our membership strength is 1206 professional members, and it's still increasing. We have about 1701 student members and increasing. For 2020, we bagged the SPE Section Award for Excellence, Best YP Award for 3 years now, and all regional technical discipline awards held by members as well. We also have the Outstanding Young Member Award held by our members, 6 Penks 2019 Way Award received by our members, and Student Chapter Awards. Next slide, Simeon. Now, what are the benefits? If you join as a professional, as a student member, there are a lot of benefits you can gain. You can gain some professional development through training programs and certification programs as well. And you also have the opportunity to network through meetings and events, technical communities, and reduced registration. There are a lot of technical resources available online where you can gain ample knowledge from, like the JPT1 Petro Wiki, bookstore discount, podcasts, and webinars. And when you participate actively in SPE activities, you will definitely be duly awarded with recognitions. So I encourage everyone to join SPE. Next slide, please. And who can be a member? You can be a member as a student, as a graduate student, professional and young professional and professional as well. And the membership benefits include stronger industry connections with industry leaders, peers, and mentors. And you'll be able to enjoy live technical events, enhance industry knowledge, and so on and so forth. And you can join us using this link as provided. Next slide. Simeon. Now we have 4 easy steps to get on board. You can use the link as provided to join SPE. You can also fill membership forms and scan to the email provided. And you can also pay for registration to renew your membership or to become a member. And there are different categories you can see. If you want to join as a through e-membership by renewing your membership, for new registrants, you pay 18,000, and for renewal, you pay 14,000. And for professional members, new registration, you pay 29,000, and renewal, you pay 25,000. And you can kindly remit all your payments directly into the section's account, and you can see the account numbers provided. And once you receive evidence of payment from us, we will duly advise SPE International to activate membership, and you will be notified. Furthermore, you will be added to the relevant WhatsApp group for your membership category in order to successfully guide you on your registration journey. Next slide. You can follow us using these following social media handles. Twitter is cancelled, so we need to be very careful. You can join us through Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, as shown on the slide. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I think we just have to take a picture very quickly now. So if you can just on your video, everyone from the presenter to everyone that have joined us, please on your video. It will take us just 45 seconds normally. Just 45 seconds. Simeon, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, okay. So we need to take pictures so that we can have a portrait of this also. And then we would like you to be smiling, please, you know. This to be like what someone have to keep at home to remember this. So we don't want people frowning. So it's about 10 seconds already. We're going to 45 seconds. Please just smile. For us that are dark in color, you know, we have to smile a lot so that you can see us. So for us, we had a choice. Let's smile. It's about 15 seconds now. We're taking the pictures. Almost 20 seconds. Dr. Joe, we want you to smile. Yes, please. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Okay, we're getting to 30 seconds. So just endure with us. Just 15 seconds to go. 35 seconds. Simeon, are you capturing everyone? It's going. People cannot smile forever, you know. Things are not very smiley too. That's why we're learning the financial system, so that we'll be smiling sometimes. Okay, so Simeon, I think the time is up, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Are you good? Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So much thanks. I think we just need to present our upcoming programs, right? Yeah, so roll it. So that we keep the time. We have about 15 more minutes, so I think we're good. Normally we like.
So announcements, closing remarks, Daniel Abia. So let's look at the upcoming programs.
Okay, so this is the golf tournament. You can hear me, right? So this is the golf tournament. We are having, yeah. So we are having this golf tournament on Saturday. Every year we tend to do some programs like this just to support charity. So the charity organization we are picking this year, they raise awareness on autism. So for some people that knows about autism very well, especially from childhood, the behavioral science, the disorders, and of course how to manage it. So it's manageable. So they will be coming also to the golf course to enlighten most of the people that will be there. So you can join us if you wish. And then I think there should be a link also. It's on the flyer, but if we can also drop the link on the chat box so that people want to register for any amount you can put to support charity, we'll be glad. So you just put any amount that you want. There are two buttons when you open the link. One is the one for the 10,000 for people that is playing. And then there's another one that says donate. So you can click that and put any amount you want. And then we're going to recognize all those that have contributed to charity, just for you to be aware. So that's for that. It's happening in Port Harcourt on Saturday. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so we also have, so management study group, I don't know, I think it's June 29 is there. So we have 8 study groups. So management study group will be making a presentation. But most of our upcoming programs, you can find them on social media spaces. So just always check on all, like our remarks and whatever we post. But most importantly, try to follow us. I think with that, you can easily just tag online, tag with us, whatever that we post on our sites. Most of our programs also are already recorded on YouTube. So you can go there and find the one that pertains to you. We are having another MTM, which is the monthly technical meeting on July 8th. You didn't put this here, but this one is on technical empowerment. In fact, this one is entrepreneurship regarding how you want to start your own business, regarding the energy industry like solar, mainly renewables. So they'll be enlightening us on how to start business regarding most of the renewable in the industry, especially the solar. There's another one, okay, you didn't have also, we're having also in August. But most of these are programs we'll put it on our social media spaces. You can find them and then you can just note them already on your calendar. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, I think that's it. So that's it for us. I think now we'll roll over to the closing prayer. But just on a final note, we just want to thank everyone that have attended this. Right from our directors, we're happy to see them, to our members and our students. Of course, I can see them very busy on the chat box. We try as much as possible also from some of our funding, from support we get to also encourage and support our students. As we know, it's a difficult time now for them to be buying data on their phones, and of course, to be able to attend programs like this. Even after this, they still have to check some YouTube. So we try as much as possible to support them with data from the funding we get from people. Also, we have our young professionals. So thank you for everyone. And those that are not SPE members, there are links provided there. You can always join us. We'll really appreciate. And then together we can win. So thank you, everyone. I wish everyone a very good night and the very best in all your endeavors. So can we put the closing prayer? Who's taking? We need a volunteer for the closing prayer, please.
Can I say the closing prayer?
Please, you can. Thank you.
Thank you. Heavenly Father, we thank you, O Lord, for the grace to gather, to interact and learn here. Thank you for the learnings that went on today. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for the gift of life upon every one of us. We pray, O Lord, that as we go, that your presence will abide with us. Protect each and every one of us, our families, our loved ones, everywhere they are in the world. The evil of the day will not swallow any of us. As we soak each and every one of us in the precious blood of Jesus, we decree, O Lord, that you protect our lives, our families, our work, our endeavors, and even our nation. Give us direction and peace in this land. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, everyone. A very, very good night and the very best for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Really appreciate it. We'll talk offline. Simeon? Simeon, are you there? Simeon? Over to you, Simeon. Simeon, are you there? Over to you. So it's done.